having policy issues does not translate to implementation. If you know that our greatest challenge in Nigeria is implementing policies, so the voluminous documents that we're talking about is there, yes, for guide, but how many? We're even talking about adults to maintain the protocol of the NCDC. How well have we been able to do that? Not to talk of children that violate any rule that comes their way. Now, what we are talking about is the safety of the children. Prevention is better than cure. If we are assured that things will be done and children would keep to these protocol policies, and even the teachers, we have no objection. But what we fear is that the implementation will be very faulty. Now, even what the representative of the proprietors is saying is segmented. He's talking about private schools. Now, the people in the public school, the children in public schools, are they not Nigerians? Are they not children of Nigerians? The appropriate thing to do in this is to bring people who are also involved in the public schools. Because the proprietor is talking about the private schools where things might be fairly okay. It may not be terribly better, but when you talk about public schools, how well are we ready? My point is that, one, we have policy, that is true. Now, how far can we implement the policy? That is called to question. Thirdly, to say that the children will not mingle and greet. It's very easy for children. Once you leave them loose, that is all. And you can't hold them to their seats. So what we are saying is that we should be clearly ready. We are not ready. Adults are not even complying with the basic principles of the protocol, not to talk about children.
All right, Prof.
So
let me ask you.
Should be assured.
Now, they were stakeholders. They attended the same meeting. They expect that the public schools will implement the same measures that the private ones are to implement. It's the same guidelines that they all do have. But before we come to that component, the policies and some of these measures that he's spoken about that they plan to implement. Now, assuming they were to implement that successfully, would you be confident to say, okay, if they can guarantee us above 90% implementation of this, students can go back to school? Will that work for you?
We have no objections at all that the children should go back to school. What we are saying is that they will not implement it. That is the truth of the matter. It's enough to say we want to implement. But the reality on ground is that let's test it. Let them write an MOU that in the process of this stampeding the government to reopen schools, if any child comes down with COVID, they should be responsible.